Good day to you, wherever you are listening to this broadcast. It's a broadcast copyrighted by Pendo Danian for Asimawe Media. The topic today is on housing shortage all over the UK, particularly in London, because London is being at the forefront of the alarm about this shortage. I have a personal interest, I must confess to you. And my personal interest is simply one of anger that we have such shortage, anger that we pay our politicians tons and tons of money and they do not have a clue as to how to resolve the issue. Anger that we pay tons and tons of money to advisors and staff to our politicians and they don't have a clue yet. The solution to the problem is quite simple and I'm going to let you into it. But first, let me enjoy this and let me be angry. Let me vent my anger. I'm angry that there are a number of individuals in the country. I don't know their quantity, but I know that I've been with some of them boasting that they are landlords. Yet, they don't pay mortgages for these properties for which they are landlords. How do I know this? I know this when I'm talking to them about buy-to-let issues and they have no clue about these issues. I'm talking to them, even some of them, you're talking to them about residential property purchase issues, and some of them don't have a clue. And it gives me the understanding that we have two categories of individuals here who are creating the housing shortage that we have this problem about. These two categories share something in common. And the something they share in common is the theft of social housing. Theft, I say, stealing social housing stock. These two categories have that in common. So we have one category of those who have appropriated local authority housing stock by using different names. So you have one person who is using a number of names, having more than one, two, three, 4, 5 local authority housing stock. They rent this stock out to people. Whether or not these people are in need, it doesn't really matter. Whether or not these people are illegal immigrants, it does not really matter. Because as far as the local authorities are concerned, the individual who is renting these properties out is the tenant. So you have somebody, a tenant, one person being a tenant with a number of names. So it could be a tenant, she could be a tenant who has about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, even up to 20 tenancies in different names. This person is taking money in, not paying a mortgage on the monies, on the properties, not paying maintenance costs on the properties, because as far as anybody is concerned, he or she is still a tenant. If the properties require repairs, they will pretend they still live in that property, call the council, make themselves available on the day the council is coming to view the property, and the council still believe they are tenants. So they pay no repair cost. Of course, they pay no mortgage. You get it? They pay no tax. Can you see? We now understand this. So they pay no tax. So the rent that should be coming the rents which should be coming from these properties to the local authority are missing because they go to this person. And the individuals, the persons who are actually in need of local authority housing are not being housed. So you have that one category of the person stealing local authority stock. You then have another category of those who have only stolen one stock. Because what they've done is they've not informed the local authority that they are no longer tenants, that they've gone to buy their own homes, that they've taken out a mortgage. So they leave the property, rent it out, take out the mortgage somewhere. They are also landlords, one property landlords. Again, the money that should be going to the council is going to this person's pocket. Again, this person is not paying for repairs. Again, this person is not paying for a mortgage. Again, this person is not paying tax on that property. Where is my anger? You already have noticed the anger that these individuals are not paying tax, they're not paying repair costs, they're not paying mortgage, and they out there, they're landlords, they're living fun life. And yet you have taxpayers all over the country paying their due tax. And then you have, as I say, you have local authority councillors, you have parliamentarians being paid fantastically a hell of a lot of money, can come up with the idea of how to cope with this kind of flagrant theft of taxpayers' properties. What is the solution to this? It is very simple. It might require an act of parliament. I don't know. But is this simple? It is for local authorities to create a national database of local authority tenants. That's so simple. If you have a national database, it means that if you put anybody's name on the database, if that person is our tenant, we will know about this person. Everything about this person will come up. And then for these local authorities to have cooperation with the land registry. It could also be an act of parliament, I don't know. So if you've bought a property, you can be flagged up at the land registry, cross-checked against the national database of council tenants, and it will come up whether or not you have a mortgage and you're also a tenant of a local authority. And importantly, there should also be cooperation between the local authorities and the banks. So again, if somebody has a mortgage, the name of that person will be flagged if the person is also at the same time a council tenant, because evidently that is breaking the law. Okay, you can have the occasion where the situation that I'm talking about people stealing local authority housing is actually happening, and we are not able to flag up anybody's name. But that is that person's problem, because evidently that person is committing a crime. Because if the name is not being flagged up, it means the person has acquired a mortgage by or with a false name. Or alternatively, the person could have acquired local authority housing through a false name. And eventually when the law catches up with that person, well, it's prosecution. It is that clear. So why should the government be afraid to do this? If at the end of the day, the onus is on that person who is stealing local authority housing stock. When you're able to do these things, very simple. Can you see why I'm angry? I'm not being paid. I'm an individual person. I'm not being paid to come up with this idea. But I've come up with this idea. And why should I be angry? When people get paid thousands and thousands of pounds and they can come up with this idea. which is so very. One, have a national database of local authority tenants, or even better still, have a national database of social housing tenants, which includes local authority tenants, housing association tenants, housing cooperative tenants. Have this database linked with the land registry and with banks, so that periodically councils can cross-check the names of their tenants with individuals who are being registered as proprietors at the land registry and individuals who have acquired mortgages from banks. You'll be able to sort out these people who are causing us shortage of housing stock, local authority housing stock. Because as I've explained to you, some of them have more than 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 local authority properties which they rent out and they pocket the money. You can start beginning to use your intelligence, your imagination to understand how much we are losing this way. Because the money shouldn't be going to them, it should be going to local authorities. The money goes to people who are not paying mortgages, who are not paying maintenance costs, who are not paying tax. So you can imagine how angry I am that you have people who are struggling so hard, individuals like me who are struggling so hard to make ends meet, doing our bit, paying our taxes as necessary, and yet you have individuals who are stealing us blind, riding free in the country, nice cars, nice homes, no tax, no maintenance costs, no mortgage. So you understand my anger. We will meet again at some point, probably with another topic to talk about, because I think I've said it all about the housing stock. I've vented my anger, and I've given my suggestions, and it's for the right quarters to take up the opportunity that I've offered them today. And it would be nice if they did. I'm signing off now. And you may wonder why excuse me, I'm pausing as I'm making this broadcast. I'm actually talking to you extemporaneously. I'm not looking at any speech. I've not written anything down. So of course, occasionally I will pause just to pick, to freshen up an idea in my head as it's coming up. And occasionally I probably might have repeated myself, but that's what you get when you're talking extemporaneously. When you don't have any auto cue, I wouldn't want any auto cue anyway, and I'm pretty awful reading from any prepared text. I've never done that. I'm not new to some people. I've been a public speaker at some point in my life, and individuals who remember my name, Ipem Daniel, and have heard me talk would know that this is me naturally. I talk extemporaneously, and I can talk for an hour extemporaneously. And I've kind of lost touch a little because I've not practiced for it. I've not been doing it for a long time, so I'm kind of out of touch for a while. So I can repeat myself a little now, because as I said, I've been out of touch for some time. But it's nice if you've been listening to me. It's nice of you to listen, and we meet again. Au revoir. Bye for now, and God bless you all.